Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X today, just like I normally do on weekends. I just woke up and I went and got coffee. I almost said ran, but I actually strolled quite slowly and got coffee. And that's all I've done this morning. Normally I wake up really early on the weekends, just like it was a work day. I wake up at like 7 a.m. and dick around for a few hours, then stream. But today I was running late. I tried to stream by noon, but really by 10 a.m. And so here I am. I'm making a 2D 4X strategy game that's open source. It's all on GitHub. There's a link there in the README. We're going to look at the README here in a second because I need to update it because I updated. We're on the new version of Godot because for another game that I'm fucking around with, I wanted to look at the new layers, the system for tile maps, and I needed to update. So I updated to 4.3 beta 1, and I just updated this project. I don't know why this opened in its own thing. It didn't open over here. It just did its own thing. I guess I opened it. Oh, I can't put it in here. All right, it doesn't matter. But we're gonna update this real quick. I have a screen that's just an empty. That's strange. What the fuck is that? Oh, that was it. Very weird. We'll open it this way. We'll open a file. And we'll go up to here. What else do I say? This game takes place in North America. It's post-apocalyptic. I always have a thing that I say at the beginning because I notice that sometimes, well, it's not that I noticed anything. It's just that I thought about it and I was like, what happens if this is the first time you stumble across one of my videos and you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So I started to say at the beginning, I'm trying to make sure that my chat works. I do this every stream too. And this other thing that I use that announces on my Discord. Lately, it's been very slow to say that I'm streaming. We'll get to the fun stuff. But we're at 4.3 beta 1. Is that exactly how they put it down here? Looks like it. And I also noticed this thing here. I did this differently. These are set up to be links. So, I mean, why did I do it differently? Consistency is the key, I feel, with a lot of programming here. So we'll do this. And we'll do this. And I wanted to add in some people, but if they show up, I'm going to ask them today. If the people who have helped me in chat, people in chat who've helped me. Chat helps me a lot. With how to program C#, and then it's in C#. Well, it says mono down there, so we'll put mono right there. It's dot mono though. I'll put dot mono over here. Sometimes what I do is put C# in its own little thing. Like .net, Godot.net. Lord Mac, how's it going? Is C#, but I think it throws people off. So maybe I'll put this. I wonder what this looks like. Let's push this real quick. Actually, I wanted to put your name in here, Lord Mac, if you're okay with that. If you're not, that's fine too. And I can't remember if I ever asked you, because Lord Mac always has great suggestions. Thanks to the following people. Oh, that's totally cool. And then we can put this up here. And let's go over to my GitHub. That's one of the things I haven't opened. Normally I have my GitHub open. And let's see. I gotta go to my branch. What branch? Here we go. We can delete those other branches. That looks terrible. That looks terrible. Let's go back over to here. Let's just put it at the end. Whoops. Capital C? I don't know. Too much credit? Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's not like anyone looks at this thing. All right, yeah. So that's that way. I don't know why I had it the other way. Whoops, I tried to save the website. Classic maneuver. Just always saving stuff. So after streaming, I did a few more things to this. Now we're working on um, population workday over for population here, and I was saying I needed to do a few things, and I just did them after I almost said after I got off work, after I stopped streaming. And it was pretty quick, actually, now that I'm doing it this new way that I didn't know that's what you were supposed to do. The one thing I don't like a lot about uh, the new Godot is that when you run the game, it opens it up way over on the side. It used to open it up next to it, which is a strange thing to complain about, but I find it really annoying. Um, I just want to make sure we're not getting any bugs because I don't actually remember where or what was going on. Just going to make sure some stuff happens. Things are happening. County improvements look normal. We can click on some other stuff. Let's spawn somebody in to see if we get like a ton of, whoa, we move quite fast at ×8. All right, everything's fine. So after this, so this is all of the end of the workday over for population. This is done, except I mean, it's done. That part's done. But we need to have them now use some resources because currently they don't use any resources. And I think what we want to do, so this is going to be under county. I thought I had written this. Well, this needs to be next. So we'll do the same thing in this population AI thing. Are we going to put it there? Everything's changed because of because I learned that one thing. So we have this happiness thing, which is going to go up quite quickly. So I'm going to have to figure out a good way to do that. But I was thinking about that earlier when I was walking back from coffee. I think I'm just going to do it and then we'll adjust later because people are going to get too happy too quick, I think is the problem. But we'll adjust how, like those type of things need to be adjusted after we get other things in place. And we kind of balance that shit out. So just get it to work first. I guess I'll put this in population AI first, and then if it seems like it should be in county population, I don't know. We'll see. So the first thing we're going to need is public static void population eats food. We're going to have different types of food too. So that's something that I didn't think about till just now. We have vegetables, canned goods, and fish. So first thing we want to do is for each one of these, we're going to start here. We want to go through every person in every county. And I guess we're passing in county, which I don't think we actually need to. So when this runs, we could actually do this differently. We could pass in county here, and then I guess it doesn't matter. Either one is the same thing. Where is this getting ran? I think this is getting ran on county. Yeah, it is. So I'll do this. What did I call that? People eat food. And you know what I also was thinking? Yeah, you know what? I did it on this other one. We don't actually need the county to go through. We need the county data, and the county data is here. So we might as well not send an extra thing through when we don't need to. And this is going to be county data. County data. And then we can get rid of this. And I think we actually probably, we could change, we're going to have to be cleaning up shit forever, I think. I didn't rename this right. Easier if you do it this way. Okay, it didn't like that. Where was that county? No, it's fine now. Just took a minute. So actually, before we do this though, and go through the county, we're gonna need to count all of the resources. So basically, we need to count all of the different food resources. And let's go back to the banker. And I was thinking, there's probably a better way to do the banker. I was thinking about that too when I was walking back from coffee, but then I don't think I want to do that right now. Like there's gonna be a point where like the banker is gonna be like, it's already improved from before, but I think there's gonna be an even better way to do it. It doesn't look like we have a count resource of county type. We have this one, which is faction type. So let's make a copy of this. And what we'll do is we'll have another one of these. Count county resource of type. We can pass in the county data as well. I'm not sure why maybe it was just easier at the time, or maybe I wasn't thinking of, whoops. There, I read like the rules, the rules of words that you shouldn't use on Twitch. That was one of them. And it's making me laugh because I've used it all the time on Twitch, and then it's like and YouTube as well. They're supposed to like not recommend your. I don't even. I mean, I feel like where are all these robots that are watching all of our videos to figure out if what we're saying? And it's I don't even want to get into the craziness of YouTube. But all right, so we're gonna pass in a county data and then a faction resource type. I'm gonna call this resource type because I think type is not enough information. And we're gonna put in. So this is gonna be the resource data in the county data, the values, resource values. Why does it say values? County data resource. Oh, because this is a dictionary. There we go. For each one of these, if the county resource type is that's not what I called that. Seems like one should be faction resource type and the other should be county resource type. Where are we looking at here? Research item data? No, we don't need that. README? We don't need that. Resource county? Wasn't I going to change something there? No. Resource data. What did I call this thing? County resource type. County resource type, lowercase c, equals resource type. It's like I wrote this code like 2 months ago, and I already don't like it. This needs to be county resource type. And so if this equals that, we only have one list now, so it makes it easier. We add in the amount, and then we're going to return the amount. Is that right? Yes. So what we're going to do let's double check this because I think I did this wrong. Not wrong. I mean, it works for what it is, but I don't think we actually need that. I mean, I guess, no, I did it right, but for the wrong thing. Um, what am I looking for here? I need a resource item. Resources. I have a description in here. Yeah, it needs to be building material. Did these get messed up somehow? Um, I guess just canned good. I probably moved it around. So we actually need to do it by resource type. We need to count all of them by resource type. So I wrote that, and I guess we don't need that. Well, it tells us this is not used, but I'm going to put this in here. This is currently unused. So what we actually need to do, I'm not warmed up yet. I just started existing. People eat food. For each one of these, we need to go to the banker first, and we can do this in a different way here. So we need all the food, all enums, faction resource type, food, and then we're going to, what's your problem? This is going to be amount of food. Oh, we need the county first, or the county data. If this asks for county, we'll change it to the county data. Yeah, it is. So let's go back over here and yeah, let's change this to county data. I don't know why I'm keep passing in the county. Maybe it's just easy. It was easier at the time. I don't know. But we're about to break this, and then we'll go over and go to this. But we need this. It's gonna break because we've used this before, and it's gonna be like, hey, you're passing in a county. And see, we're passing in a county, check enough food. We're passing in a county here. We probably could have just passed in the county data. We don't give a shit what county it is. Like it knows what county it is because we're doing this. But maybe in some of them where you need the county, but I don't think we do in this counting of things. So anyways, we're gonna do this, and this is something I learned that I can do this. It's like this is probably when I was like my third stream of this. Someone mentioned this guy before. He's actually this dude in this README. This keto guy. Oh, so he must have been, he was down. Oh no, Fublaws was the first guy, and the keto guy. That guy keto. He said I needed to do some basic C# classes, and I did some, but they were too boring for me. It's not my learning style. Online C# classes. So I'm imagining, if I had done 2 more, I did like 4. I got to level like 4 or 5. It's leveled like it's a video game. It's like Microsoft's thing. And I got to like level 4 or 5, then I bailed out and I stopped doing it. But probably right around the corner, if I just continued for 2 more weeks or something, 2 more lessons, I would have known how to do this shit right at the beginning. So this is going to count all the food that is in this county. So now we have amount of food in the county. Why do we care about that? Because we want the people to have they're going to eat more food if there's more food available. And you're going to be like, that seems confusing for the player. And it just dawned on me that yes, that is going to be confusing for the player. They're going to be constantly wondering why their people are eating different amounts of food every day. Too bad. We'll have to do something. We'll have to figure that out. So that's going to go through and give us all of the food. We have that amount. And so there's got to be a better way to do this, but this is the way I'm going to do it right now. If amount of food is, I think you put a divisible by 3. let me ask Chat GPT because I want to do this. So originally I was going to have it go through every person and just have them eat one food, and then if there was enough to eat two food, they would eat another food, you know, and if they're a third food. But I think I don't want it to go through human, every population on there. Um, I don't want to do it 3 times. If they're in C#, I want to see if a number is divisible by 3, then by 2. Then by 1. Then by 1. I guess because what happens if there's not enough food for everyone? I guess we would just have them eat. Huh, we'll have to figure that out when we get there. I don't need to ask it an actual question. Oh, you're writing a little thing in there, huh? Return. What the fuck is that? See, I knew there would be a different or a better way to do it than having 3 if statement. Okay. Equals 0. Equals 0. Oh, of course. Of course. They put that in the return. Okay, so this is returning yes or no. True or false. This isn't going to work for what we want, though. So this is checking to make sure that this is divisible by 3 and 2 and 1. What we wanted to do, compile the program using a C# compile. We want it to check if it is divisible, that's whatever, by 3 first, then if it is, do something. If it isn't, then check for divisible by 2. Man, I complain about this all the time when I'm streaming, but my music, I'm listening to music that you guys can't hear. It just, the new song that came on is way louder than the other side. That's why I'm shouting. I gotta turn this down. It's way too loud. Okay. Oh, I guess using just a couple of if statements is the way. There isn't a better way? I think programmers are very divided on ChatGPT. I know IT guys are not, they don't seem that divided on it. Like, I hear a lot like, oh, I checked ChatGPT just to see what it was said to solve a problem. You can encapsulate the logic in a method to make the logic clear. No. Okay, let's go back to this thing. We'll just copy this. I mean, I already have that half written. Oh, wait. No, I have it. Equals 0. That was my missing thing. Okay, so if so that means that when it says equals 0, that means there's no remainder, is what that's doing. IT guys usually use it. Yeah, not like all the time, and I don't use it all the time. What did I use it for the other day? Oh, this is, I mean, it's work related, but it's not work related. Somebody asked me for a letter of recommendation, and I was like, sure. And then I sat down to write the letter of recommendation, and I was like, what does a letter of recommendation even look like? And I looked online, and I was like, holy shit, this thing's a page? I was thinking a paragraph, like, this person's great to work with, hire him. That was going to be my letter of recommendation. And I was like, holy fuck, I don't want to write a page about this person. even care that much. So I asked ChatGPT to write it. Oh, it's actually right here. Um, it's somewhere. It's somewhere. Oh, here we go. So it wrote. Look at this thing. And I was like, yep, this is a letter of recommendation. So I just copied and pasted this and then I edited it uh, pretty severely. Like, I changed a lot of it. I took out some of the things because they sounded like ChatGPT wrote it. So this is another crazy thing. I was like, when they give this to someone, are they going to think, they're going to look at this and be like, oh, somebody just went to ChatGPT and had this thing. So I was wondering if I should put in a tiny mistake that the reader would notice, but they would make them think a human wrote it. I did not do that, but I thought about it a lot. Like have like the wrong there or something like that. You know what I mean? Just so that they thought that a human. So it was kind of interesting thing there, but so I use it for that. But generally, I know what the issues are in my work because I've worked there for so long. Like, so when a person says, "Oh, this is happening to my computer," I go, "Oh, okay, it's this." I've seen this 10 times, but occasionally I run into something that I haven't encountered, and once in a while I will look at ChatGPT. But I have IT friends, and they're always like, if we talk about stuff and we're stuck on a problem, like someone has an issue and we can't fix it, the first thing is almost always like, ask ChatGPT to see if it'll give you any ideas, because sometimes it does give you ideas that are right? It's like catch 22. They're like, oh, this person put in a mistake to try to trick me. It's like a Blade Runner. Uh, but yeah, that's generally I feel like. And I talked to my boss, who's like the head accountant, and multiple times he said, "Oh, what does ChatGPT say about this?" And I don't know. And it's not like we use it for like things that it's just troubleshooting. So if it's wrong, who cares? Where it just gives us ideas. So yeah, but I think programmers are very mixed about it because for IT guys, it's not going to take your job. Um, well, maybe it is, but the IT guys I know, it's not going to take their job. Programmers, I think, feel like it is going to make the junior programmers get fired, and they're going to get replaced with ChatGPT, and they don't want that. I mean, no one wants anybody to get fired, but also they don't want ChatGPT is not a replacement for a junior programmer, from what I understand. Okay, so if this is feed, we'll write a little method here. Feed population. For now, yeah, it's going to be interesting what it is. And then we're going to put in an amount. Uh, uh, it's going to be 3. But this is what number we're going to want to check. All right, we can turn this whole thing into one little method, actually. What we'll do, we're back to having this massive... I was playing that Fields of Glory Kingdoms game, and I was surprised how many things are hard-coded in. And what I mean by that is, like, if this gets to 40%, this happens. And that I have a lot of that in mind, but I feel like that's weird. Like, it should be some more floating, but I guess it's always, I don't know, like, maybe like Paradox Games and Dominions and all that has that too, and I just never really thought about it. So county stuff, we're going to have to do here. We're going to put in a couple of, because we might want to change it. I don't think we will, but we might want to. So county stuff, we're going to have gain food to gain happiness equals 3. Export public and food to gain nothing equals 2. Export public and food to lose happiness. Okay. We'll jump back over here, and then we're going to just make this a private method. Where are we at? We're in the banker. Or no, we're in population AI. I don't know if we should, where we should, but I'll just put it here for now, and we'll see. One of my friends has like servers and shit at his house. Actually, I don't think they're servers anymore. They're just like a bazillion laptops. And he runs like a local copy of, it's not ChatGPT, it's one of the other ones that are open source. And I guess he fed in the information. Like, it seems insane to me. Check food amounts. Whoops, we need a void in here. And we're gonna pass in an int, and then we're basically gonna put this little thing in here, but we're gonna do it so we can put in 3 and 2 and 1. Now, let's actually write this up here first, and then we'll see if we can make this easier. Or smaller, or whatever. What did I just call that? Food to gain happiness. So that's going to be 3. And then food, instance, food. And then I guess we're going to feed population will be this. Generate that. Man, this computer is really, I always complain about it, but man, it's getting worse. I had to reset Firefox, which I've never even had done before because videos wouldn't play, Twitch videos wouldn't play. And it had like all these repercussions after I reset Firefox. I really didn't want to do it. So the feeding the population is going to, we're already at, oh, this is wrong. This should be up here. And this should be down here. And I guess we need a county. You know what we can do instead is, I also don't know which is better. If it's better to have this variable at the top and you just assign it like this county. Get the fuck out of here. This. Sorry. County data equals county data. But this has to be this. Why don't you like my this here? Probably because this is static. There we go. I'm figuring it out finally. So I don't know if this is the better way to do this, like to pass this in and then just have this thing hold on to the county data. I'm going to guess this is the bad way to do it. So let's not do it this way. The reason why I'm going to guess this is the bad way is because if this is holding on to it and like you forget to change it somewhere, then it fucks something up later. So we'll just pass in this county data. It isn't that big of a deal. Once again, back to my earlier comments on my learning skills, I would know if it, I would have answers to these questions if I just had continued that thing. Okay. So then after we do this, we're going to pass this in and we're going to this doesn't make any sense. Okay. Fuck. I forgot a key component to this. Uh, this has to be times county population data. We have two. Okay, we have all sorts of issues here. So we need an int number of people, and it's going to equal county data. County, what did I call this? County population list dot count plus, what do we want here? What do you want? Why are you upset? There we go. Plus county data heroes in county. Okay, are we in the banker? No. Let's move this to the banker right now. We're going to cut this here. We're going to jump over to the banker. We're going to say public static count void count everyone in county. We're going to pass in a county data. Yeah. We're going to return an int, and we're going to do this, and we're going to put this here. What's your fucking problem? And we're going to get rid of this static, I think, is its problem. No, what is your problem? Not all code returns the value. Return number of people. We're going to do number of people. Oh, this is an int, and that's going to equal this thing. And so number of, what is your problem? Expecting a thing. Oh, we're not done up here. That is expected here. So we want the county population, we want the heroes in there, and we also want the county data visiting heroes. So this is one of the things that is going to change. There's going to be a policy in here that you'll be able to fix or change, where like visiting people, heroes won't be allowed to eat at your spot, but at the starting area they will be allowed to eat. All right, what is this thing's problem here? It has ints people. That list, we get the count of this list, we get the count of this list. Oh, it's the problem went away, and then we return number of people. There we go. And so then I think that's everyone. Let's double check. Where's my county data? We should have some lists here. County population, there and there. Heroes in county. Armies in county. Visiting heroes, visiting armies. Currently, the armies are that's a big thing. Currently the armies are just one person. So that would be fine if they ate the food out of there. But eventually the armies are going to be one person, but also their troops. So let's put the armies in county and visiting armies. Visiting armies do not get to eat your food. Go back over to our banker here. So we're going to need the visiting armies currently, and we'll put a note on this. County data, not visiting armies, sorry, armies in county dot count. And then we're going to put a note. This includes the armies in the county, but It only works while the army is one person. We should probably put this also in our GitHub thing. Our project under like armies or whatever. If I have an armies section, you should verify your email address. What are you talking about? That is verified. It's because I reset Firefox. Like every notification on every fucking website is now like back to, the cookies got reset or something. So heroes. Do I have an army one? I don't think I do. It's the Oh, I do. Perfect. So currently, when resources are used, the armies are counted as one person. When we make the armies more than one person, the total army needs to eat and use resources, perhaps even guns and infantry equipment. There we go. And so this is going to return. This is going to work for now, but there's a few things like this. I would fix this right now if armies were already had multiple people, but I don't want to actually jump to that part because that's a whole another ball game, as they say. Count. What did I just call that thing? I literally wrote it 2 seconds. So everyone count. Why aren't you auto-populating? Count. What's your problem? Public. Oh, I couldn't do a static because it didn't like it. Now it's fine with it. I guess I just had some other issue. Count everyone in county, pass in the county data. So now we have this. So this number, food to gain happiness, needs to be multiplied by the number of people. Is that right? So we need to know the number of the amount of food. Everyone's going to eat 3. I'm going to do amount of people, I think. Even though it's weird to have the word there. Amount of people. So this should probably be in like this. So we have whatever, 100 food, 10 people. We don't need to know if it's divisible by 3 actually, because so this is what I was about to say. We have 10 people, we have 100 food, 10 people times 3, because we want each of them to eat 3, is 30. We have 100 food. I'm doing something wrong here. That would be, we wouldn't divide the number. We would multiply the amount of people times the food, so that's 30, and then we would see if this is less than. We wouldn't divide this at all. If amount of food is greater than or equal to this, we got problems here. We got this thing over here. Greater than or equal to. All right, so we have 3 people, or we want to give them 3 food for this day. Number of people is 10. Multiply that together. We get 30. Let's say we have 100 food. Is it greater than or equal to 30? Yes. Feed the population. If not, we're going to check it with the 2. And if not, we're going to check it with the 1. Okay. but that we could just do amount of people. Feed population, and so this is going to be, the population actually doesn't, what a pain in my ass. It's actually not really that big of a pain, it's just programming. So we're going to feed the people. They don't actually like eat the food. We're just going to give them if food. Is there a better way to do this? I just feel like I have a lot of steps for this one simple thing. If food is equal to global's instance food to gain happiness, county population dot happiness plus, why can't I remember this, plus equals, no, what is it, plus plus. So they'll gain a happiness. Then we would do if, then we could return out of this actually. We could just return out of this because we were done. If it equals that. If this we should call amount. And this should be amount. Feed population, instance, food to gain happiness. I feel like I'm doing double the work that is necessary. We check how much food there is, and then we just say, hey, they get a happiness. I am doubling the work here. No, I am doubling the work. What we do instead is we just cut this, and we get rid of this thing, and they just get a county population here. And I bet you there's a better way to do this, but we don't need this crap. This is what we do. Else, if, I never use these. Else, if. Oh, I need to like hang out. I woke up too late today. Chat GPT just mentioned this, so I'm gonna look at it. And I was like, why did it do else if? That's just else if. Jesus Christ. Else if. And when in my brain, when I was like, why did it do this? I was like, oh yeah, it does need to do this. If amount of food is greater than or equal to globals dot instance dot food to gain nothing times amount of people, then we go for each, I don't know, we can just copy this down here, no reason to type anything. Actually, we just say nothing happens. People get jack shit. There we go. Whoops, I'm hitting insert. No, I'm hitting the delete key. A key that is rarely used for that particular. And then else if, oh, then we can return out of here, right? Else if, if, whoa, what is this thing? There's a typo in there. Uh, else if the amount of food is equal to the amount of people. Get rid of, whoops. Amount of people. Then, so this is where they're getting straight. I got all sorts of issues in here. There we go. This is if there's just barely enough food to get them any. God damn it. Then we're gonna do this. We could probably turn this into like a gain happiness versus a method that, like, one method that gets them happiness, and instead of having this actually in here. All right, so this is gonna, let's go through this again here. If they have three, if there's enough food for them to get 3, they're gonna get a happiness. Everyone in the county gets a happiness. We need to also remove the food. Otherwise, you will not actually use the food. So let's remove the food from here. I guess no, we would do it here. We will, so at the end, we're going to do amount of food equals, no. So we got to actually know what food they're eating as well. So are they eating canned goods? Are they eating vegetables? Are they eating fish? So that's another whole thing that we got to do here. So let's finish this. Let's just double check that my little happiness thing is working here. So it's, if this is over, the amount of people is times 3, is an amount of food is greater than equal, then everyone gets a happiness. Else if, I mean, we can just put return in here and it would bail out. Else if amount of food is greater than the food to gain nothing times the amount of people. So this would be 2 times the people, so that'd be 20 people. No problem. Have a good sleep. I know this is like the opposite. We live opposite time zones. Have a good sleep. Amount of food, so that's 2 times that. They get jack shit. And then if this is, they get a negative to their happiness. So if you're out of food, people are gonna, their happiness is gonna like crash down. So the problem now is we actually have to have them eat a food. I will try. Sometimes, it happens, sometimes it doesn't. What's this going down here? This is not static. Whoops. I'm gonna go away. And we'll go through these messages. You know how much I hate them. And, alright, so I wonder if the banker should handle this, if there should be, it should be under the population AI that we're already in here. No. I was going to say it should be under county population. But we're actually, so the way I've been doing this now is because of that one guy's comments, that one Wednesday that I streamed, that changed like how I thought about how I was doing C# wrong this whole time. I just didn't know that it is whatever variables I'm editing the most. So in this case, it's going to be the county data. I'm going to be adjusting the list, the dictionary of resources in here. So the class that we'll be using to have the people eat will be in this county data. That's how I've been doing it. I don't know if that's right, but it seems like it's manipulating these things. So what we'll do in here is we'll have a public void population eats a food. Oh wait, but we have eats food. This is where the population. What did I call this one over here? Population eat food. Should not be called this. This should be called something else. Is there enough food? So then under here, we'll just have like county population, and then it will, oh wait. We'll have county data. Yes. Population eats food. We don't need to pass anything in here because we're in the thing that's here. And what we'll do is we'll pick a random, how we're going to do this, a random food from the 3 food items. So I think we're going to need a temporary list that will, man, once again, what a pain in my ass. What would be the let's not do it that way. But if we hard code all this shit in there, let's not hard code it in there. This is what I was thinking when I said let's not do it that way. I was thinking we would just have it go through, and they would eat all the vegetables first, then they would eat all the fish first, or next, and then they would eat all the canned goods last. But I don't think we want to do that. What we're gonna do instead. See, this is the problem with the banker. The banker stuff should probably be in the count. A lot of the banker stuff is editing county data variables, so it should probably be blown away and put into county data, and it will happen probably over time. But I think what we need to do is we need to go through and get a list of perishable food. So, let's do this. It's for each. I think I have the banker already has something in here. Generate scavenge, generate work resources with skill checked, increase research, count out idle, add story, count. See, like count idle workers. That should probably be in the county thing, because that's what we're editing right here is the county data. So we would just move this and we would have it, the idle workers, we would just say like count yourself, basically. Count county resources of type, count county factions of type, add leader influence. See, and then this one would be under the county population thing. So yeah, I think the banker's going to slowly be eaten away here. Add hero research, like that would be under county population as well. Count scav, I don't think we actually do have anything that will work. Count everyone in county. See, this should probably be under county. I just wrote this one. It should probably be under county data. Add a research amount. That should probably be in the research item data. We could just pass in the amount. Yeah, this is all shit. But it's okay. So we don't have anything. What we need to do is we're going to make a bunch of changes here. Get all perishable food. And so what it's going to do is it's going to get a list of all the perishable food. This is going to be a list, though, of resource. I don't think we need it to be a dictionary. We may need it to be a dictionary, but we will find out soon enough. A list of resource data. It's not a void. So this will will return. We're going to need list of resource data. We can change all this. perishable food list equals, and then for each get list of perishable food for each resource data, man, in resource data in, well, this is just one list now, but I think just resources, but let me double check. Yeah, it is. In resource is, it doesn't like this because this isn't a dictionary. I think we got to put the value thing that I earlier where I was like, what is that? That's what we need to get is the values in the dictionary. For each one of those, we need if resource data type, faction type is equal to faction type food, and we'll put this down here. And oh, the other weird thing is that when I reset, it's not that like that weird, but I was shocked that it was such an effect. As it reset, all of my websites to 100%, and so like every website I went to, I was like, what is wrong with this website? It's so tiny. It's because I guess I've been like making them a little bit bigger. It was like almost every website. And then we're gonna also check resource data perishable equals true. So then if we have these two things, so if its type is food and it's perishable, we're going to perishable food list dot add resource data. And then at the end of this, we're going to return perishable food list. So it has to return something. There's no way for this to fail. So somebody mentioned it, I think it was the same guy maybe that I was talking about the other thing. Whatever. Someone mentioned like, why aren't you trying things? There's a thing in C# that you try, and this is if it can possibly fail, you do like this thing called try. I don't quite understand it yet, but this it cannot fail because the list has to have perishable foods. There's no. And this is just going to be a temporary list. So we have this list of perishable foods, and then in here, I mean, we could create a list just forever and hold on to it, but I don't think we need to do that. Then in here, we need to. We're gonna have this list here. List. Maybe we do want to have all like a bunch of different lists, but somebody mentioned parallel lists are a bad thing in a stream once, and I've taken that to heart. Okay, so now we have a list of perishable foods. When the population eats the foods, this actually can be private. That can be private, but I'm wondering if we might not want it to be private. But I'm gonna go take a quick break. Let's see here. Let me throw up my break timer, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I desperately need a smoke for some reason. It's just been like I said, I woke up and I came like pretty much straight to streaming. I usually sit on my ass for much longer before I do that. Uh, okay, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. What was I gonna tell you guys? Oh, my cat has joined my room. He's back. He's in my room now. That's important information for you guys. For a second, I thought, oh, it's my other shoulder. For a second, I thought he was right there, but that's like a bed, a pillow or something. Um, all right, let me start my music. I turned off my break timer. Let me start my music that you guys can't hear and go back to OBS here. Oh, weird. Okay. I was weirding about OBS was showing the number of viewers, and I turned that off. But I guess that was another setting that got reset when I set Firefox. That shouldn't have happened. Weird. I don't like to see the number of viewers because it stresses me out. If there's suddenly it jumps up, like what are all these people doing here? Anyways, what the fuck we were doing? We were getting a list of the perishable foods. We returned the list. We got this list here. And then we're going to randomly generate. Do I have a random thing up in here already? Sometimes I do if I'm using random a lot, but I guess I'm not. Where's my cursor here? We'll do random equals new. And then we'll go down to here and we'll say int random number equals random dot next capital N 1 between 1. It doesn't know that it would. Sometimes I'm shocked about maybe it's because I have that typo right there. Yeah, I want the count. And so it's going to get a random number between this and that, and it's going to have them that eats from this list. I'm assuming we'll do a check. Do we know what we're in the county data. We're going to do like a GD prints just for testing here. So then we have the number, so then we're going to go perishable. Good God. Perishable food lists. Random number. Amount. Except we need to know if they're eating the amount of food that they're eating, because they could eat 3. So that's the amount we'll put in. We do this minus equals minus amount. Okay, then this is the GD print we'll put in here. Food that was eaten. We're going to have to put a $sign up here. And then we're going to go. We know what the food is because it's a dictionary. We're going to, because I want to make sure that this list is using the same things that are in this resources list. So we're going to go, so I don't want to pull like this number. I want to compare. There's only 2 perishable foods. We can do this. Here's what we can do. Food that was eaten, $sign, County food. Why did I do it this? Well, we don't need the $sign after all. I mean, either one, it looks like. Resources. Yes. Sorry, no. Perishable food list, random number, dots, county resource type, amounts. And actually, this needs to be amount here. I'm pretty sure that this does it this way, that these are going to be the same, but I just want to check. And so these amounts should match. All right, so we have that, and we're only doing perishable food right now, so we're gonna have to see, like, if there's enough perishable food, they're gonna eat that. So we're gonna have to go back to our population AI here, and we'll just put it right now. We're just gonna put this down here. This is gonna be county data, not with a capital C though. Perishable. Did I not? I need to go make this a static something. Static. No, it doesn't need to be static. When population eats food should be. I have the wrong thing here. And it wants to put in an amount. So I guess actually we do need to put this in the correct spot. We're going to put this here. This is going to be this thing. And then this thing will be here. We'll copy that. Well, I guess I can just do this. They get jack shit, but they also eat. And I don't think we have any food at the beginning. Like, no, your nation doesn't start with food. Oh, except we need to do a for each. Wait, no, it needs to be on the outside of the for each. Because it's doing it itself. I think. Is it? It is not doing it. So this needs to be under. I think actually what we'll do for now, I might change this. This is going to be food to lose. Happiness. And this is going to be food to do, what did I say? Do nothing. Gain nothing. So the problem with this is we need like this in here. I'm not going to put it in the, and this will go in here. Whoops. This will go in here. Okay. So this is going to happen for every person. I don't like that. No, that's a bad way to do it. Because what it's going to do is it's going to do this, create this list every time. We don't need it to create a list every time. We just need to go, once it goes to here, it needs to go through. We'll test it this way, but this is a bad way to do it. We'll do it better next. I don't even know if I have this in to tell it to do this yet. I guess I should look at that. Under county, is there enough food? Let's follow our trail here. Is there enough food? I guess this is. It's weird this is a different icon today than it was yesterday. We don't need to. Hey, there's there's that. We need to go back over to here. Check for preferred work. We're checking all sorts of loyalty. They're not going to have enough food because if we look here and we click on these counties, there isn't food yet. So that's the influence. That might be a bug. I think they're supposed to be at 5. So I'm going to put this over here just so I don't forget. We'll go through this list maybe today and see what we've fixed and whatnot. To make sure amount of influence is getting generated correctly. I think it should be 5. And it looks like it is 10. I may have changed it to 10 though. I probably would have been faster for me just to check that right now, but okay. So this goes through this, and this should have happened already. It happens at 1 a or 11 or at 1 a.m. When does it happen? Let me remind myself. End of day, set day, clock, set day. What time are you at? 1. So yeah, it should have already happened. So let's go through all of our crap over here. I don't have. What did I put in there? Did I put a word that is amount? Let's go back over here. To our county data. Food that was eaten is what we can look for. Food that. So it doesn't look like that fired off. So we got a problem. So that should have happened at 1. 1 already passed. This creates the list. We got the list that comes back. We're passing in an amount, which is under the population. Is there enough food? It's kind of a weird name. People get jack shit. So that isn't going to happen. Okay, so this is the problem. If the amount of food is greater than or equal, there's nothing below that. There's no, there isn't enough food. There isn't any food currently. So it doesn't do anything. So we should probably put that because that's going to be a thing that could happen. Starvation. We just put an else here. We don't need an else if. Else GD print. And we'll put a rainbow on this one. Rich. $sign. No. $sign equals. Everyone is starving. And then we'll deal with that after. And let's just run it again and make sure everyone's starving, because that's what should happen here. Is everyone should starve, and then we'll do some tests with the. We'll give ourselves some different food. What the fuck is that thing? There we go. I mean, I know what that thing is, but okay. 1 o'clock has passed. Everyone is starving. All right, first test done. Next test. Bunch of food for ourselves. We can't just type that into our faction thing, our faction data. We have faction data for each. Where the fuck is it? Resources, factions. We can't just type this in here, I don't think. Yeah, this is like how much food is in each faction. We could go to our counties though, and we go to Portland, and we would have two different things. So everyone's starving. It should be doing that a bunch. Yeah. Okay, so from here, we probably... Yeah, the resources aren't assigned, though, at this level. They're assigned later. A copy of them is made. And where was that dumb way we did that? That was under county generation. It'd be nice if we could just drop them in there. County generation, there's a thing here. County assign it initial county storage. Update SCAP copy and assign resources. So this is making a duplicate and setting the amount. So what we'll do here is we will, for each resource and resource type, county type equals the key for that thing. The key that goes in, where is it getting this? Key equals the resource type. It's duplicating this, so we can go like this. County data, resources, key. We're just going to give like everybody amount equals 500. And then we're going to go to here, and we're going to say this is just for testing. All right, so now every county is going to have 500 of every resource, which is actually an interesting test because we've never done that. So it's going to be kind of weird. Let's see what happens. I think this faction number up here is going to be jacked up, but see, this is correct. 1,500 food. That's right, because we have 1,500 different, we have 3 different types of food. So we have, yeah. So let's unpause this thing. 1 o'clock is now passed. We can no one's starving. We need to go, I don't give a shit about their loyalty right now. I guess we could adjust their loyalty so that doesn't show food that was eaten. County food. That county could only have 3 people in it. Let's go to Portland. Oh, what happened here? Next activity label. We don't have a next activity label anymore. Current activity. I thought I already fixed that. I wanted to see what their names were. We got rid of the whole concept of next activity is gone in the game because there used to be a time period from 5 till midnight or till 5 till 9 a.m. where the people weren't doing anything and it was confusing. Okay, so well, there's another thing. This used to say helpful, unhelpful. Good God, everything's busted. Let's put this in here as well. The population row is messed up. It used to say helpful or unhelpful, and now it is blank. All right, we got 12 bugs. 12,000 bugs. Okay. Back to this, though. So this person's name is Phyllis. So then let's go to... So there's going to be a couple of weird things, like if we don't have enough food, or if we... So when we're to the lowest level, what happens if some people can eat the food and some can't? Like if there's 9 people and there's only 8 food, currently it's just gonna, no one's gonna eat anything. We're gonna have it, we're like kind of adjust how that works. But what the hell was I doing here? We want to check for this. Does 1 o'clock passed? No. There we go. 1 o'clock has now passed. We want to go to find Phyllis in here. We can just go Phyllis. Except here they are. But what line is this? You know, once I get rid of this, I'm not gonna be. It's not gonna bring me to that line. I still gotta go find Phyllis Griffin Sanders. What is your last name, Phyllis? Barnes. We got 2 Phyllises. Phyllis Barnes. Food that was eaten, 497. County food. So that works, except we're not eating the right amount of food. So the reason why we're only eating 3, let's go back to here. Is this not going through everybody? Oh, this isn't going to work either, because this should have went through every person and done this. Oh, this one is on the outside. That's the problem. But this still isn't going to work because the hero is not going to eat food. So we're going to need to do another one, and the army isn't going to eat food. So we have 3 different lists that we're going to need to do. I used to have a complete list. Did I think everyone was originally in the county population, or in the county data population list, but I started taking people out because we needed other things. So I still don't think I want a complete list. What we're gonna have to do, is there enough food? What we're gonna do here is a couple of things. We're gonna make this correct, and we're gonna make everybody eat food. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna want to pass in a list. So where is this population eats food? It's under county data. Let's move this over here. We're gonna pass in a list of the population that we're doing this to, of county population, and it's gonna be called county population. And yes. And then we're going to, what is your problem? The problem is that, so we're gonna have this list of county population list, and then from here, we're gonna go for each county population in county population list. Then we're gonna have this go through everybody. Do we need a random number? We do. And then we're gonna leave this stuff in here. Damn it. Guess we'll go this direction. Then we're gonna put this here. And so now, it's only gonna get this list once. The list of perishable foods. It's only gonna do that once. And then it's going to go for each person in the list that we pass in. It will have them eat some food, and it will be the amount that we pass in. So back to our county population, Is that where I'd put that thing? Because I don't feel like it should be in here anymore. Where did I put that thing? It's right here. So this, we're gonna get rid of that. So if there's enough food, this isn't gonna be right either. We're gonna need another one of these. We'll just comment this out, but we're gonna put it, we're gonna put a comment right here, even though it doesn't want to, oh, you know why it doesn't want to let me? Because that's too far over. Uh, we need a county population method that adds happiness to each person. Okay, and this wants a list. And the list that we're passing in for this particular thing, we're in county data. So we're going to do county population list, comma. What's your problem now? Oh, this is a list with notify, eh? Wonder why we did that. Oh, because we needed it for some stuff. Okay, so where is the list with notify? We can actually easily fix this, I hope. Population eats. We're passing in a list with notify. Are you missing a using direction? Where is this list with notify? Player space globals? Really? Okay. Sure. Uh, and that's going to be the same. So before we get to that, we'll just comment that we're just going to do one test first. We're not going to set this all up. This can all go fuck itself for right now. So after we have this one, we need to do the exact same thing, but with two other lists. And this is going to be heroes in county list, and hopefully this is a list with notify. It is. And then we want armies in county list. K and D this shit. All right, it doesn't like that. Okay, so now it should have everybody eat. So we already have this in the count, everyone in a county. So this should already have taken effect. So it's going to have everyone eat, hopefully. And then we'll do that. We'll have the different math here in a second. We'll test the different math, hopefully. Programming just takes time, you know, when you see some indie solo developer who's been working, you know, their game's released and they're working on the next update for 6 months. It's because this shit just takes time. And I only put in like 6 hours a week on it, on mine. So it's like, imagine if they have a day job and shit. This shit just takes time. All right, 1 o'clock has happened. So look at all these people eating. And it's going down. It's the same thing. We don't need to put this. So this is the right number now. It's going through each person and having them eat. We could also, you know, there's another way we could do this. And there's a better way to do this. Oh, except we do need to check for their. All right, there's a better way to do this. So the better way to do this is just to have them eat, like just take the amount of, oh, except we can't because we're doing a random what they're eating. Let's go back and look at this output. So this isn't right, I don't think, because the perishable food count This should be 0. Because we did a number between 0 and the count, which is the count's 1 higher. So that's one problem. The perishable food count should be 2. So the issue is we were always getting 2. There was a mistake there, and so that's what that number was. I was like, what's going on? Why is it always that they're eating the same food? Some of this stuff we're gonna have to Whoa, that was weird. We're gonna have to optimize this at some point. So this shouldn't be -3 every time. So this isn't. See, so look how this person ate, and then they got a different random number. And then so that's good. We could have put the name of the food, I suppose, right here. We could have. I set this all up for this, and I didn't do it. We could do this here. Name. And then we can just get rid of this. We don't need it twice. And then we'll just run it again. And I want to have it so that since we're adding more and more stuff, when you start a strategy game for the first time, it does a thing where it's like creating world and it's doing all that. I want to add that to the beginning of this because it's going to start kind of slowing things down. Food that was eaten was fish. So this is a 50-50 chance, and it seems, like it should be every other in a perfect world. Anna, how's it going? But this is like we're rolling some very, very some good streaks here. Here's our 50-50. That was just like a good streak of stuff. Yeah, so this is working correctly. So that is what we wanted. Okay. I'm good. I didn't know I needed water until I took so badly until I took that sip there. So that works. I don't know if I really like how it works, but it does work. So we have this thing going here. The problem is, well, no, we got to do it that way. We need to add this happiness thing in. So I think what we'll just do is go into county population here. I don't want it to go through twice. Except we might have it go in twice. Population eats food. So I guess what we'll have to do is pretty much the same thing here, except, which is kind of a bummer, we're going to have, this is in population AI. In county data, we'll do, man, this is kind of, yeah, for the happiness thing, we're going to go data, yeah, county data, adjust population happiness. And we're going to pass in, it's going to be like the same thing. I don't really want it to go through everyone again. So I don't want it to go through the population once to take off their food or to have them eat the food and then have them go through it again to have them adjust their their happiness. We know that what this number is, like we know that this is going to be a 3, and if it's a 3, then it's they get a certain thing. So I guess what we could do is inside this one. It's kind of a bummer though, because then we're going to have another method in here. But I guess it's fine. we'll do it right in here. We'll go adjust population happiness in here, and we're going to pass in this amount. I don't need this int in here. And then we'll generate this thing. And this will be that same thing. I wonder if we could use one of those, whatchamacallits, uh, the pattern thing we were talking about that we used in the other one. So like if, let's write this and then we'll ask ChatGPT if amount is equal to globals dot instance dot food something, and then if it's, so if this amount that comes in is equal to that, then we need to pass in the county population too here. County population. Then we go county population plus or happiness plus else if actually it's not an else. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. We could do else if, I jumped the gun there. If amount equals this thing, which we've already checked this elsewhere though. We're like going through this again. I guess we didn't really check it. Sort of checked it. This doesn't do anything to their happiness, so we don't actually need to check that. We need to check food to lose. What did I call it? Lose? Food to lose happiness. Does it need to be an else if? I don't think it does. And this is going to pass in our county population here. We still haven't dealt with the starvation thing. That's a whole different thing. So the way I'm thinking that, no, I guess that is, I guess we do need to check that when that's it. If any of these things, there's no third else. This is just, that's it. And then this will, we're only going to pass in these things because this is already, is that a capital H and we're doing lowercase h? No, we got the right H's. So let's do this again here. Holy shit, another like 45 minutes has passed? I haven't done anything. All I did was type like one thing. I should have put a let's do a GD print. County population first name happiness and then I just want to make sure that this is going up or down. So Yeah, and it should go up because we gave everyone too much food. Enough, not too much. It's weird that this is being so strange. I think so. The 4.3 beta 1, this is when this weird shit started down here. So I'm hoping that the next update fixes that. We just got to unpause it till it gets to 1 o'clock. And then. Okay, so his happiness went up 1, which is what we wanted. Everyone's happiness went up 1, which is right. So let's go back to this weird code where we don't need this open. We already fixed that. We don't need that open. Though I do want to go through these messages and fix them. This wasn't saved, and we'll do this in a second. Um, where was that? That was under county generation. So county generation, let's do this now. So on average, the average group of people is the average amount of starting first capitals is capital of a faction is 11 people. So if we did 66, every resource is now 66. We actually want 22. 66 is, where am I getting 66 from? 11 times 2 is 22. I don't know where 66 came from. 11 times 3 would have been 33 times 2. I don't know. Let it go by this, and now we should get a different. Whoa, did you see that? I don't know if that's my computer that's the problem, or if we're just having it do too much shit at once. That's twice that it's done that. So that the Rose's happiness is, so some of these people would have better happiness because their place is smaller, so they don't have 33 people. Oh, this is their loyalty adjustment. That's something else. We need to find Portland. Let's check here. Who's somebody in Portland? Eric McCarl. Eric, where are you? There we go. His happiness went up. It should have done nothing. So let's look at what I did wrong here. Is there enough food? If the amount of food is greater than or equal food to gain happiness. See, we should have got people get jack shit. Yeah, it didn't. I didn't do something right here. Else, if the number is times the amount of people, is the amount of people counting correctly? I didn't test this. Let's see. We have the county data here. We can put this here. I was going to put it at the top, but that wouldn't do us any good. County data, county name has county number of people. So we can test that to see if that's counting correctly. Go back to this. Is there enough food? Let's make sure that, no, we know it's running because we did this other thing. So if the amount of food, so we're returning, we count all of this, and we already looked at that, and I think that was right because it said 1,500. Where are we doing that? Because that number, it just dawned on me. this number up here is the same number. We're already counting this count faction resource of type. And I just wrote this, didn't I, like 5 seconds ago? Um, oh no, this was already here. Okay. I think. Uh, so let's see, where were we? Amount of people, count everybody in county. We're checking that now. Food, I mean, well, I guess it could be wrong. 22. If it's greater than the amount of food, which I gave him 22, and there should be 11 people in there. Should there be 11 people? Yeah, there should be 11 people. Let's look. There's 11 people. This is so weird that that thing broke. We'll do that next. Once we finish this food thing. And they also need to use resources. Scrap. Remnants. It's not called scrap anymore. It's called remnants. Else if Sherry, how's it going? Um, what are you saying there? Is that something that has happened to you? Else if so this should be 2. It is 2. And then this should be if it's just greater. I feel like it's these else ifs that is well, it's a bummer. I don't know how do you get that? Can you get it fixed? Um, so if this one happens, it should stop, and which is what we want. And then if this one happens, it should stop. It shouldn't go to the next one. And then if this one happens, it shouldn't go to the next one. So this is what we want. I wonder if we could have changed this into a switch or something. Brain magnets. Uh, I'm wondering if the count of people is wrong. 22 equal to count everybody in county has number of people has 11 has 11 has 11. It should do nothing, basically, is what. But it's still giving them happiness. They shouldn't be getting this. Let's look at this. Maybe I have some other um, uh, greater amounts of food is greater than or equal to that. So that should be 33. Food to gain happiness times the amount of people should be 33, and we gave them 22, except, well, let's double check. There's 33 food. Because there's the other type of food. That's the problem. There's non-perishable food, and currently we're only dealing with perishable food. So, um, there is enough food for them. So we got to give them less food. That's the problem. And we just haven't dealt with the perishable. Like after they've eaten all the perishable food, they're going to eat the non-perishable food. We just haven't done that part yet. This should probably be called non-perishable or perishable. Just for now, I might rename it in 2 seconds here. So this population eats the perishable food. Let's go back to our county generation here, and let's not give them 22. If we give them 20, that will give them 30, which of each resource. Wait, 33. That number's wrong. 33 isn't. If I gave him every, so that's the 66. There's that 66 number. My brain. 1898. What is that? What is that? What happened in 1898? Probably a lot of stuff. So if we give every resource 11, they should be that number. Are we only? That number's wrong. So there's something weird going on there. Did I not save this? No, it's saved. 33 should be right. I don't know why that other one said 33. And this should still, they shouldn't be starving at this point. Amount of food, -11. Amount of scrap. We haven't dealt with the negative part. The negative part is yeah. So we've eaten fish. Okay, so that works. Let's put this down to like 10 because that should be less. That's not enough food. It should be the second rank of food now. And I'm going to take a break in a second. I can't believe how fast time flies when you're working on programming. Not always, but I wonder why there was that weird anomaly. Oh, I let way too much time go past. Sorry, I don't know what any of the emojis mean. I don't even know. Anna earlier put WBY. I don't know how what that means. I don't know what any of this stuff means. I'm not online enough to. I mean, I look at like Reddit and stuff all the time, but I don't like chat that much. Okay, some of these places would be able to eat food. What did I put this one? Jack shit is what I said. Okay, so that is working. So some of them they get jack shit. But there's a problem with that I just thought of. It should have hit, so when it gets to the jack shit part, no, this is the problem. This shouldn't be an else if because there's enough food for them to get this next part. But instead it's saying like, okay, this number is here. and so they're just and then it bails out of this script, so it goes down to here. It's like, okay, there's not enough this, this is here, um, except that, no, that is right. We need to just take off the food. We just need to them eat the two food instead of the. Okay, no, that is right. And then the third one would be this one, and then we need this everyone is starving thing. Um, so there's like kind of a lot of things to do for this, and we're gonna have to do the same thing with resources, but with remnants, but I want to do it slightly different for remnants. Let me throw out my break timer, and I will be back in. Let me stop my music here. Whoops. The music that you guys can't hear. Let me throw out my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right. So when I was just on break, this isn't that funny, but I found it amusing. I was trying to watch a video, then I clicked on it, or I selected a video on my phone, and then I was like, I don't want to watch this video. So I was trying to X out of it, and go back, and the X button wasn't working. And then I looked more closely at the X button, and it was a link to Twitter. And on the interface, it was the only X button, so I didn't really like think about it. I just went to the X button, and there was a back button instead. But I didn't ever even thought about how dumb. I mean, I've thought about how dumb that name was to change your thing to, but yeah, that was oh, the stupidities of Elon Musk. Anyways, back to what we were doing here. We have a lot of things going on. I think this part is working. We just need to put in this. We put this method inside. Let's put a note. Let's actually put this back. I didn't want to exit out of there. I wanted to copy it. Happiness is added when the people eat the food. We're gonna have to do like a whole other check here. But we'll copy this and we'll do this and we'll change this to for happiness. There we go. I understand the wave. I understand that emoji. The rest I don't understand. This actually needs food something. Gain nothing. Here we go. We passing this amount in. We can copy this over and it will probably offer. There we go. And then this, we need them to lose happiness. We're going to put a note. We'll put the same thing. Actually, we'll just have this. And we should just change this into a method or something. I don't know. This is just a clusterfuck. We'll ask ChatGPT. Happiness is removed. We don't need this part though. This can go. And we're gonna have to figure out this perishable thing. We want them to eat the perishable food first. And it's also going into the negative, so we're gonna have to figure that out as well. If it's a negative, then it eats the next thing down the list. It re-randomizes. But the problem, if we re-randomize it, it might, try each food 50 times. What we do is we remove that food from the list, that temporary list that we have. Okay, so now what we can do in this county generation here, 10, I was thinking we could put a random number in here just to test all the 3 different things, but it's actually, that's not going to work. I'm curious, what did I put this adjust people's happiness? Yeah, this should help them that should work. So what we need here is if we put every resource, what did I have? 10? We need it to be so that there's only enough for so there's 11 people. If we put 11 in here, it's multiplied by 3. So we need it to be, that's 33. we need it to be like a weird number. We need 11 divided by 3, which is not a number. 11 divided by 3, which is, so if we put 3 in here, that's not going to be enough. If we put 4 in here, I think that's going to kick it over to the next level, but let's test it here. I always do all of my math with a calculator now, even if it's like 2 plus 2. It's just what I do now. Man, that spinning thing is really okay. People get jack shit for happiness. So that one, oh, this person's name is Jackson, just by coincidence. Uh, so this, it's gonna be really hard to test this. So these people they're not getting. We want to find somebody whose their happiness is going down. Oh, that's loyalty. But they're not starving. So then this is the thing I was talking about. I think if they're down to the last amount of food, like if so, let's say that there's 10 people and there's only 8 food. They should eat all of the food that's left before they start starving. So we got a couple of things we got to do. We got to change how a couple of things work because this isn't going to work. Because otherwise, like, they're all going to not eat in unity. Like, I don't think that's how it would happen. Uh, there's just some people are going to starve. There's like 12 different ways we could check this too. Like, do the workers, the people who are working, get to eat first? The leaders obviously should eat first. So we should actually change the order of this. All right. So first off, though, we need to fix how they're eating the food. Food that was eaten was this or whatever. What's happening is this is just going into the negatives. So what we need to have in here is if this amount is greater than 0, they eat something. And then let's put this in human words. If the amount of food left is greater than 0, they eat something. Else, else the that food is removed from the list. So if there's one food in there, they're going to eat it and it will be gone. If there's 0 food, no, we say if it's greater than 1. All right, so why greater than 1? Because if it's greater than 1, they just take 1 off. But if it's at 1, which is what that would be, we want them to eat 1 food, but then remove that thing from the list. And then we're gonna go from this list up here, perishable food list, remove this thing. So that, because this is randomly happening, so they'll eat that last food and then it will be removed from the list and then it will go to the next thing. So then what happens when they've gone, so if this works how I think it will eventually, those 2 items on the list will be gone. So this is a perishable food list. We need to then put it. We need to get list of non-perishable food. So maybe what we can do with this is put in a bool right here. Get list of food. No, I don't know why it dinged at me, but it actually was fine. I pushed backspace. Get list of perishable food. Then we put a bool in here, or get list of food, perishable, and then we say if this equals if equals perishable, which would be true if it's perishable, else we're going to have non-perishable. We're going to need a new list here. Resource data, non-perishable food list, brackets, non-perishable food list, add resource data. I feel like I've already done this whole thing before. And then this is going to return, whoops. This is going to return two lists. We can't return two lists. We could, I guess. I don't think this is going to work how I wanted it to. We could return, can you return two lists? I mean, you can. I know you can. Let's copy. I just don't know off the top of my head. How do I return both of these lists? A tuple. Another tuple, huh? Okay, so we do, it's what's in there? Private. You just have a private. That's it. There's got, oh, it's farther off to the side and I just can't see it, probably. Yeah. Okay, so this needs to be in brackets. I'll copy this over. This tuple, this thing needs to go over here. And then okay. Okay, we go to here. And then we're going to rename this. We're going to say get lists of food. And then this needs to return this, comma, non-perishable food list, right? Okay, then we need to go get lists of food. And how did it show us to do this? Return food lists. Oh, it put a public class in there? We can't just access each part. You can destruct the tuple to access both lists. All right, let's make sure that I'm going down the right path here. What's going on here? Did I delete something out of here? I didn't mean to. It's this. I think I did Control X instead of Control C. Uh, I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to do this, like just have them go through and eat all the vegetables first, or just have them go through. I kind of don't want to do that though. I think people are like have them have a preferred food, but then if they have a preferred food, they're gonna eat, all of their. That's a whole other issue. So, um, so I guess we need a public class in here or in here. So if we go through, so what's going to happen is after they've eaten all the perishable food, they're going to get to the canned goods. Um, it removes them from the list. So we would have to have like a check here. If the list is empty, then we go to the other thing. And this is only gonna work for part of it. I think we need to rewrite how this whole thing works. So I think I just wasted I just wasted a bunch of time. It's not that bad, but um, no, okay, it's not. It's actually it's fine. Let's think back to this thing though. Where is this? Population ID or this final thing where if there's enough food. Okay, so the idea behind this originally, my original idea was just have everyone go through and eat food, and then if they got one food, that was fine. And then if it went through again and everyone ate all their food, um, and when if there was enough for everyone to eat two foods, they also got a happiness. And then if there was if they would just eat the second, if they only ate one food, they got a -1 to their happiness. If they ate two foods, it would add a +1, which would make them at 0. And then if they ate a third food, they would get a +1 again, which would give them a +1. And it would go through everybody. But I was like, I don't want it to go through everyone 3 times. So now it's checking, because that seems like a lot of extra going through everyone in the world 3 times. So now it's checking here, but this goes through every single person. This goes through, well, each different list. And so it does the math ahead of time to make sure that there's enough. And so if there's enough food for everyone, so I guess this is better. But if there's enough food for everyone to have one, God, I feel like this is so bad, so unoptimized. Uh, so it would skip down through all these, and this is only happening once. It goes to eats perishable food, and then this is the only time it's going through all the counties, or all the people in the county. So I think this is the better option. So I guess we're going to have to put in a public class that has the food, and then they keep eating. So I guess this is the best way to do it that I can think of. There's probably probably a professional would know how to do this better. And this isn't going to be perishable food anymore. This is just going to be eats food. I'm trying to do it so that, like I said, it doesn't go through everyone 3 times, because we're going to have thousands of people. Right now we only have 100 people, but I think it's already lagging out too. Uh, so let's do this again, or let's continue on. Let's put in we need a public class in here. can I just put it right in the middle? I cannot put it right in the middle. I gotta stick it somewhere, which is a bummer. I don't want a public class inside this resource, do I? What the fuck? I don't think I want that here, but let's see if I can do it right here. Just to public class. What did they call it? What did they do here? You can food lists. These are getter setters, which is weird. Sure, food lists, and then we're gonna have a this, and then I am assuming we need a new one, right? We just do this actually, and then we do one of these, and we equal this, and we put a non in front of here. And then this is going to do, we're going to need a food lists equals, can I just do this? Can I just straight up do this? Not with two equal signs though, of course. I cannot. No argument is given that corresponds to the perishable. This isn't, that's wrong. What we're doing over here is wrong. So let's see, it's gonna go, look at these capitals. That's strange. Did I type those capitals in there? I think I did. Let's put this down here so we can read this whole thing. It's weird that there's a big gap right there. We're gonna go through, we're gonna be returning two things, so it doesn't, this can be true. And then else it's gonna return this, we're gonna have two lists. It doesn't, we don't need to pass in that shit. So get lists of food. Perishable food list, non-perishable food list. We have a new one here. Yes, we're passing in these lists. Where is this? This is in county data. No, we're not. We don't need to pass in two things. What are we doing here? This is wrong. We don't need to pass shit in. Why is there a thing up here? Private void. We don't need to pass in anything because we already have our thing here. Okay, so we're gonna return, what's your problem down here? Oh, we were returning that stuff. Jesus Christ. I was thinking we were passing it in for some reason. Because of how I have this all fucked up. Equals true. Okay, so we're returning these two things as a tuple, but why don't we just, oh, because this is in a different spot. Motherfucker. Make this complicated on myself. Sefmon, thank you for the follow. Devoid dude. Awesome. Thank you for watching. Some days I feel like I really don't know what I'm doing. Like today, it's not that so earlier when I was writing some of this, I was like, man, I've gotten so much better programming since like a year ago. But then I run into stuff like this where I'm like, this can't be the best way to do this. Like this has to be, there's got to be a better way. Okay. And I guess, like I just bust out a public class. Where did this thing even go? Do you? Well, that's comforting, actually, to know that. And occasionally someone will come in and chat and say like there is a better way, and I'm like, oh, great. Like that guy, I keep talking about this guy the other day. He was like, why aren't you doing this? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And then when I figured out what he was talking about, it like changed everything. It changed how I program completely. That's why earlier I was talking about this banker going away, um, because all these things should be, these classes should be elsewhere. And because of that one dude, just one comment he made. Um, but I still feel like, so we go to the eats food, we get list of food. We don't need this true in here anymore. This should return. Oh, I gotta go. No, how did ChatGPT say to do this thing? We'll deal with those errors. Get lists of food. Food lists. What am I doing that's different than you? Food lists. I think I'm skipping around and what it's saying, and I think, yeah, so it's doing this here. What does it say about the truples? Is it saying like, oh, you could do it with a truple or tuple? It's not a truple, it's a tuple. You can to access, so you could do it this way. Oh, okay. So this is the problem. I'm trying to combine two different things that it suggested. Uh, I didn't reading comprehension. that's that's uh that's something I complain about my coworkers all the time. I'm like, did they read my email? When they reply, they didn't. But I shouldn't. What's the don't throw rocks on a glass house? Okay, so let's fix this public class. This public class can't be here because we need to access it over here. Wait, get food lists. No, we don't. It can be here, fine. Get food lists, go over here. So in here, we're going to return the public class of a food list. Food list is what we're returning. And then down here, we're going to have a new food list. We're returning, well, we need to put it. Food lists equals, can I just do that? No, it doesn't like that. It wants this. And then here we're going to return food lists. This is what's going on, but we want to put in food lists, whatever I call these things. Did I make them public? I'm in the right spot. Yes, everything's everywhere at this point. No, I didn't. I made them private. I've been trying to not do the thing that I've been doing for so long also, which is where I usually, and I bet you these are all this way. I don't have any private ones. Normally I type in private, and I've been trying to get away from that because I now feel like I now agree with people who were like, why the hell are you typing in private? That it's more like right here. No, that's not a good example. That's not a variable. Like right here. I now find it more readable. You can tell. It's easier for my eye to see that this is public versus private. If you have a bunch of them crammed together, here's a better example probably. Like this, if you have a bunch of them crammed together, my eye sees the P and that, like as I'm quickly looking at it, and I think, okay, all those are public, but in reality, if this didn't have this here, I'd be like, what's going on here? And then I'd be, oh, that one's private or whatever. So I've been trying to get away from, I'm trying to, improve my skills. That's long story. I'm trying to improve my skills. Where the hell was I here? Public food. We have this thing. This needs to be public. So we have those two things. This needs to return wherever that went. Return the thing here, right here. Food list, perishable food list equals perishable food list. food lists dot non-perishable. Okay, we're gonna get this to fucking work at some point. See, it's telling me that I could do this differently. Oh, it wants me to do it this way, huh? All right, that's that works. There we go. So now that it's returning this thing, and we have this food list thing, we can now do food lists with a capital L. And my music stopped for some reason. I know you guys can't hear my music. It just, I gotta make it start again. It's so silent in my ears. I gotta have. It's like, so there's a hiss from my headset, and it just can't. I gotta have something going on. Okay, so back to this. Yes, I was making sure that that didn't look right, but it was, I think. All right, now we have to fix this though. Um, Population eats food. We got this random thing. They're gonna get. So this is. Now I'm thinking back to like every game that I've ever played in my life where they have population that eats food. Where I was just like, man, this must be simple to write. And then now I'm thinking back to like, did they have it just every person just go through and down a list and eat it? Or was it random? Like I never even paid enough attention. Does anyone give a shit? Okay. All right. Perishable food amount is over 1. They're going to eat that. So if there's 1 left, they're going to eat that and it's going to be off of this list. But what happens if there's nothing? If the list is empty? So the first thing we're going to want to do is if food lists, perishable food list count is greater than 0, then we do this other shit. Whoops. This other shit. So for all right, I'm already seeing a problem here. Am I seeing a problem? No, this is gonna work. So no, it goes through this first person and it looks, hey, is there anybody in the perishable food count list? Is there? Yeah, is there? So yeah, there's 2 in there to start with. Let's say they each have 1 food. Um, it goes to the next. It goes to this else because they each have 1 food. Let's say it randomly rolls. Let's put this random down here for a second because I think it's weird to have it up there right now. It randomly rolls on this list. Okay, except we can't have this here. Let's put this down here just so that we don't have errors. Uh, so each list has 1 food. It goes through. It says, is this greater than 0? So the count is 2 because we have 2 lists that have 1 food. And it goes through, and is it greater than 1? No. So then the food is removed from the list. The person eats first. Person eats first, then the food is removed from the list. And so then that's fine. That's perfect. So what now the first, so we've hit the first person in the county and they've removed that first list. So we go to the next person in the county. They remove the second person, the thing in the list. Then they're going to go to this else and we're going to do the same thing basically. Oh man. um It's only going to hit this. This isn't going to work for this last thing. We should make this work. Now, is this going to work for the last thing? I think it might. So it's going to be the same shit. Did I already copy this, though? I think I did. This is going to be non-perishable. And there's only one non-perishable food right now, but I want to set this up so that when we do add other non-perishable food besides canned goods, what, beef jerky? I don't fucking know. Beef jerky, just jerky, and chicken jerky, fish jerky, jarred food. What's that rotting fish that Norwegians eat? Norwegians? Okay, so and this would remove it from the list. Okay, so then what happens now? We're to the like, what happens if this has to be an else if? What happens if there's no food at all at this point? Then we can stick this elsewhere. Else, this should be where everyone is starving, right? No. Let's do GD print. Let's do one of the rainbow things, just to rainbow. There is no food at all because they're not starving. What does this adjust the population? What is this amount that we're passing in here? We're passing in this amount. Where is this amount coming from? Up there. Okay, so this is, if they're subtracting 3 and whatnot. So we can leave this over down here. I wasn't sure if I had to put this up here somewhere, but no. I still don't know what this symbol means. People eat food. So we do need to pass in the amount. I was thinking maybe we don't have to pass in the amount. So actually, it's else if this is wrong. It should be they lose 1. Food to lose happiness. It's got the little finger for some reason. I think that's an issue with my computer, honestly. I don't think that's Godot, Visual Studio, or anything. I think my computer is dying. I need to reformat. But I've had this version of Windows installed on this computer for years. So the minute you reinstall Windows, you're gonna have to reset it. Every personal setting is gonna be fucked up. Every video game I've installed is gonna have to be reinstalled. I don't know what this is, so we'll get rid of that. So this is what I was thinking. I don't think we need to check for this because first off, we do need to change something here. Maybe we do need to check for this. So if there's no food at all, no, so this is the problem. We do need to go through everyone until they run out of food at this last step. So this is supposed to check if the amount of food is greater than or equal to the number of people. So that means that everyone would get 1 food. But in reality, we everyone at this point is going to get a -1 to happiness. I guess actually that's not true. This would give a -2 to happiness if they're starving. And then we also need to put in some sort of like they start dying. Like they gotta die from starvation at some point. Uh, so we gotta let's put some notes in here. Uh, so we need to have everyone loses 2 happiness. Everyone starts taking damage. Okay, so now we need to talk about. Now we need to make this more complicated. So in real life, you can live like for 30 days or something, pretty long amount of time without food. I mean, 30 days is if you're just sitting on your ass. If you're actively doing stuff, it's longer. Just out of curiosity, I'm not making this shit up. Just out of curiosity, one time I was curious how long I could go without eating food, and I worked a day job. I did drink beer. That's another key component to this story. I drank beer every night, and I lasted 10 days before I was like, I have to eat. So if you're drinking beer, you can do it for quite a while. So we don't want them to start dying like after 1 day of starvation. We probably want some number. We'll put in like days until starvation in the globals here. So we have so many of these global things for adjusting. What are we using threading for? Huh. I walked by, I was at my house. I had eaten for 10 days and I walked by a thing of peanuts, like a container of peanuts that I had in my house. And I was like, I need to eat those right now. And so I couldn't stop myself. It was kind of funny. Food to lose, days, because we want to adjust this number. Days until damage from starvation equals 15. I don't know. The thing is, though, if they're still working and doing stuff, like if I was working construction at the time, I would have lasted 2 days, like before, because you're using so many calories. I worked at Kinko's then, making copies, so it was a lot of standing around. And then we don't even have damage in the county population. The county population doesn't have any health. We haven't done the health thing because we haven't needed it yet, but we're gonna need it for when we do combat too. So I guess this is another thing that we're gonna have to add. I only have like 8 minutes left. And I don't want to do. I don't want to do hit points, which, I mean, they're kind of like it. They're going to be kind of like hit points, but maybe I do want to do hit points. I was thinking, very limited hit points that don't change, if that makes sense. Like that don't go up and like you don't level up and get more hit points. So like you would have 5 hit points, and that's all you would have. Uh, and I was gonna put an enum in that was like, dead, injured. So what I always think of is the close combats from years ago. They're like kind of damage thing. You were like wounded, like I can't remember the settings or the things, but it was like wounded, incapacitated, and dead, and like that was it. Injured, it was injured, incapacitated and dead. Um, but that could be an enum of injured, incapacitated, and dead. Uh, Public enum health, and then we'll do the same thing. But I think what we'll do, we could just add things. So that would be that would be 2 hit points. And then we also want to give him a bonus though for having a higher constitution or whatever the fuck I called it. I can't remember now, even though oh, it's in a list. We can't see it anymore over here. I was gonna look at what it was called because I can't remember. Where's my piece of paper? I think it's sitting on my desk somewhere. It's right here. I also have like just I'm making a pile of paper over there of old mail that I haven't read. Endurance is what I was thinking of. So we would do an endurance, like they get a bonus. So I guess we are going to do hit points. So we'll call it health though, just because why not? I mean, okay, we'll call it hit points. I've talked myself into it. And I don't think we need the enum actually. If we're just going to do numbers, we don't need this. And maybe we will later, but I don't think we do. We're going to go to county population. Did I put hit points in here already and I just don't remember? Shit. Okay. I don't think I did. I wasn't sure if I did like hit points or hit points, with a space. So we're back to this thing where I don't know what to call these. We're calling them expendables, but I'm just going to call them hit points. Public int hit points. And now we just broke everything. Come on, break so I can click on you. Oh wait, no, I haven't broke it yet. I got to go down here and break it. I wonder if I think if I control period. So there was a YouTube comment that mentioned this. Add parameter. Look at that. You can do it. Just like that. You can just add it in there. Everyone says that YouTube comments are full of, they're just a bunch of fucking assholes. It's not true. 99% of them are assholes, but the rest are not. I think I put this up here. I don't need this comma. I need this comma over here. And then let's, whoops, what did I do to myself here? I use this int. And then we'll move this up to here. This is a mistake. This should be capital L. Because otherwise it's going to get confusing for the getters setters. What's this thing's problem though? Oh. I got all sorts of extra stuff in here. Int hit points. We need to fix this too at some point. I think last stream or the stream before, I remember saying to myself, like, well, I thought I changed this to activity from current activity. Let's just rename it. Let's just do it right now. Activity. And hopefully I didn't just bust a bunch of shit. Okay. I'm very soon gonna call it a day, but I don't want to be like mid thing here. Everyone loses 2 happiness. So imagine how fast if you have a 50% happiness or a 50 happiness. I guess it's not that bad actually. You're starving. You 25 days you'd be down to 25. Loyalty would be cratering. I guess that isn't that bad. If you had 100 happiness, though, it would take quite a while of starvation. You'd be dead before you were unhappy. So maybe we need it's starvation. This should be a larger number. Uh, we'll put a global in at some point. Uh, we'll need to be because like starvation is different than not having extra food. So that's the whole reason I'm doing this crazy amount of like you get 3 food, you get 2 food, whatever. The idea is that you have extra food. You can eat as much as you want, and then it's just kind of rationed. But having enough food to survive versus uh, starving to death would make you lose a lot more happiness. This will need to be uh, a number in globals so we can adjust balance. There's going to be so much adjusting. That's another thing. Like I was thinking about, I was playing that Kingdoms game, and they said that they're having an update that's coming out that adjusts some of the things, and I was like, didn't they not play the game before they released it? But then I was wondering if they just didn't play it enough. Like to get the balance right, you have to have like 20 people playing for 50 hours to be able to think of like a Paradox game. Every time a Paradox game's released, the end game is always all fucked up. Everyone's like, oh, you get halfway through the game and the whole thing falls apart. It's because I don't think they have the time to play it. Um, I don't, that for Paradox, that's unforgivable still, but for for a smaller development company, it kind of makes sense. Okay. So this I think is a good stopping place. Oh, it's exactly 3 hours too. Let's push this. Is this a good stopping point? I think it is. This is going to be something different. Let's run this. We haven't run it since I did that change. Well, I don't even think, no, we haven't because we're hitting negatives over here. I was going to say, and see if everything implodes. And here we go. We got some implosions here. Oh, right. We never added in the hit points thing. We're going to give them some global setting here. I'm just deciding where I want to put this. I'll just put it here, I guess, for now. Public int starting hit points equals 10. We'll just do 10 for now. Then we'll jump back over here, and this needs to be... What are you generating? Is this a list or something? Well, I guess we'll just put hit points is right before. This is generating expendables is dumb at this point. I think I had plans for this. Generate random stats for each population. That's not what this does. This doesn't seem that useful. Globals instance hit points. And that's going to go here as well. What else we got? I didn't get a chance to look at all these messages. Oh, I decided not to do it that way. Oh, these are the ones that are gonna eventually be gone. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to look at this other error or these other two bugs. I need to go like next, maybe tomorrow I'll do that. Like go through these bugs that have been kind of, they're not really piling up, but I've just been noticing them more. Let's just make sure, yeah, like this thing. I wonder if I did that on purpose to try to make this smaller and then I just like didn't do it for this. I don't know. Unpause this. And that's what we were looking for, was to see if there was any. Are you not going to open this for me? Uh, where? 148 in county data. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work if there's no, if we're taking shit off the list. This is going to have to be like here. I think I hit two numbers, or two hotkeys, not numbers. And here, KD. You don't like that, huh? It doesn't like that I do this all the time. But I have it like blown up. We should probably put this down. Oh, this is going to happen down here too. So let's put this here. Do we even need this shit in here? This is just for testing. I guess we do for this testing. I want to get better at how I do tests too. Everyone has, not everyone, I keep reading about it, that there's better way to do tests than the way I'm doing it. Of just throwing prints and writing them each. I think you're supposed to put it in a method and do, I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do. Yeah, that little spinny wheel is really taking its time these days. Copy error. Did I save this? I did. Did I just move the problem to another spot? County data 149. Yes, I just moved this to another spot. Because it's been removed from this list at this point. Man, so that's another thing I was thinking about earlier when I was streaming, is how much, how quickly you improve on troubleshooting. Like, I know I'm still not great at it, but like I remember when this error, I would have been like, what the fuck, for 30 minutes. But now I was like, oh, okay, I just have this removed, and it's obvious that there's something wrong with this list or whatever. And it's same with my day job, troubleshooting of issues. Like you got to have like the problem solving ability, which most people have. Well, some people have it, but I think most people have it. But like I was saying also earlier, that I know like the vast majority of the issues that my coworkers have. We shouldn't be getting to negatives. And we are getting to negatives. Let me look at this logic real quick. I guess it's logic. So let's see. We get the list of the food. Let's double check that this is done right. If it's perishable, it adds it to this list. If it's non-perishable, it adds it. If this equals true. And I was about to check to make sure that the resources were set to the right perishable or not, but it actually shouldn't even matter. Like with how I wrote this, I hope it shouldn't matter. Um, if those were set right. So that should be working. And then we got to go to, so if this count, which it should be at 2, is greater, if this is greater than 0, it does this shit. So when the last person takes it out, because this is going through each person, the last person takes this out. I was just like, I'm so good at troubleshooting. 2 seconds later. What the fuck is wrong? And then, okay. This removes this from the list. If greater than 1, if this list is greater than 0, which would be 1, and it should be 1, it does this stuff. If both of these are 0, so the person comes in, and if both of these are 0, it should there's no food at all. So at this point, it never hits that there's no food at all thing, which is possible. No, because we saw the negative number. How is this hitting the negative number? We're putting in like 3s and 2s and stuff. It's got to be this other part is off, not that. Not that. Where the hell are we? I'm like completely, is there enough food? It has to be this because this should be doing the math. Except for this last part, everyone is starving. It's not getting to that either. How much food did I give them? I gave them like 10 or something. So at this point, no one should be starving, but it should be hitting these. Am I checking the right amount of people? We're counting them up here. So that, and we already checked that this worked, and I think we saw this working too. So the thing that, so this negative shouldn't be happening. So it's somewhere, wherever we're getting amount of food is -1. Go back to food that was eaten, canned food 2. Food that was eaten, vegetables -1. Let's go to Portland or wherever. Johnny Miller. This is the problem with this sort thing. I wish you could put Johnny in here and then like double click and it would undo it. Like, and you would be at Johnny, if that makes sense. Because now I need to see the whole thing with the stuff without his name in there. And maybe there is a way to do it. Maybe it's search. No, that's just filter. You know, Unity had a thing that I actually wish this really had, which is where you could double click on these and it would open the script here's Johnny, that is affecting this. So you can, or the script that's printing the console. So you can click on this and then you can just comment that out or delete it or whatever the fuck you wanted, or see where it is. Happiness is 90. So his happiness went down 1. So did this person. And it said that they ate 2 vegetables. No, no, no. They're eating one. Okay, so so Johnny ate one or whatever. There was four fish. There's three fish there now. Sarah ate two or ate whatever, and there's two vegetables here. And so then Gary here ate one, and so now we're down to two fish. And then Norma Flores here ate another fish, which is why we're down to one. So they're eating one each because, and they should be, and that's why their happiness is going down, is because they're only eating one. Food that was eaten was fish, but there's zero. There's zero in. Then there shouldn't be. But like then they started eating other stuff. So why is it hitting zero? It shouldn't hit zero. I thought. I thought. Why did I say that I was good at troubleshooting? I wasn't even trying to like brag. I was just trying to say I've improved since I started, which you would assume everyone would. But now I've cursed myself. Okay. If the amount is greater than one. So that would be two. They eat the food and then it continues on. It skips that part. What is this other shit in here? Oh, this is the thing. This is the prince coming after this. So it would be zero. Zero is right because it's at zero, and then it removes it from the list. So that's right. Hopefully, we could put in. Oh, we can't really put it in there. I mean, we could put it ahead of time. I was going to say was removed from the list, but we could say it's about to be removed from the list. But that's right. So that should be zero because it's removing it here. We could also put this down one, but it's fine now that I know that. So is there any negatives in here though? So negatives shouldn't happen ever. So there is though. So Andrea, how did you get? Are you here? You're the last person in the list too. So there's something going wrong with like the end of this. Gain happiness, just making sure that this is in the wrong order. I was gonna fix this. This should be at the bottom. Heroes eat first. Population eats last. That seems. I'm probably complicating my issue here. Okay, here we go. So we on this particular case, we should have been over here because it did the math. There should be enough food for everybody. Uh, Otherwise, it would hit. Or sorry, we're in this one. Otherwise, it would hit this everyone's starving thing. We're not even taking into the account. And I'm going to put a note in here. People should eat the leftover food. Fuck. We're going to also have whoever has been starving the longest should eat the leftover food first. This is so complicated. Why does it have to be this complicated? Okay, go over to here. So we're passing in the list, that's right. If the count is over 0, it's gotta be this, like, remove isn't happening right. How is she eating vegetables when there's no vegetables to be had? Is it getting removed from the wrong list? Is how we're generating the number 0 to count? So if there's 2, no, we would be getting an error. If the amount is greater than 1. I feel like maybe this isn't happening correctly. Like maybe it's not happening fast enough? No. I'm looking for like a non-perishable in the perishable spot because that seems like that would be a classic. Here's one. Here it is. Or here's something. That seems like that would be the fuck up here is non-perishable, non-perishable. There's one thing. I wonder if that was it. It was removing like some other thing from the wrong spot. What do we got here? We are still in perishable. Look at this. We have the wrong count in here too. It's always something like that. Okay, not always, but a lot of times it's like a. I guess is that considered a typo? It's a pasto because I pasted it. Okay, non-perishable, 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 non-perishable. Do we have anything hiding over here? No. Non-perishable, 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 perishable, 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 perishable. Okay. Save this again. I'm always worried that like a power outage, whenever I like fix a bug, like a power outage or something is going to wipe out my changes, which is very strange because I've saved it already. So a power outage wouldn't actually affect anything. An EMP pulse wipe out my changes, but I think I would have more problems than that. Okay, let's look at who our people are here. Rose Ward seems to be like the person we kind of want to keep an eye on here this time. Did I put her name though? No, it's not going to help us any. She did lose a happiness. There's going to be the real version of 4.3 should be out soon. Sound like they did a lot of work on it since this beta 1. They're kind of behind on when they said they were going to. Okay, there's Rose. Diane 8. Diane 8. Diana 8 canned food 1. What did we decide? This number was after. This number was after the amount had been removed. So there should be 1 left. And then did Rose eat it? It doesn't say. Rose happiness 94. Where did I put this? Adjust happiness is right here. It should have still printed food that was eaten. Regardless, it should have said all of these have a food was eaten thing, so it should have said even if she was on the last one. So let's think here. What's her fuck left one over, and it's gonna say that there is one left. So the next time it should have ran, it should have gone to here and eaten the last one. Rose should have gotten the last one, and it should have said this, but for some reason it didn't. This is what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna call it a day here. Is I don't like how inaccurate this is. Like I have to food that was eaten. We're gonna do this here. We're gonna say we're gonna do GD print $ quote county population. We're gonna put their first and last name. I should probably just have a fucking variable that's both so that I don't have to do this because this is annoying. First and last name. 8 amount. Now that county has this. And this is after the amount has been erased. So this is going to be more like whatever I was saying before. It was kind of confusing. We'll get rid of all of these. See, like this should just have been a little method. We got the perishable thing going on here, though. This should be non-perishable. KD, this won't come over because it doesn't understand what I'm doing. It doesn't understand. It probably should be tabbed over one. Okay. And this will give us like a better, it'll be easier to search too because their name's in there. Then I'm calling it a day after we run this once. What, another half hour passed? Oh, oh God. What's your name? Carol Davis. Okay, Carol Davis. Carolyn Davis. Carolyn ate 1. Now that county has 2. Well, at this point, they have food left over, so there's no way to test that. Let's do... I mean, I guess there is a way to test it. It's just going to be hard to test it. It's not going to be that hard to test it. We're just going to run it a bunch of times. But there was enough leftover food that there was actually leftover food. What does it say over here if we click on the county? It says that there's 2 food. You notice that didn't update until I clicked it again. Motherfucker. We gotta add that in here. We're never gonna get this finished. No, we will. We will. What's going on down here? Doesn't matter. After the people eat, the county resources need to the top bar with the county resources needs to update. This is another one. We're gonna have to do bug hunting and go through this shit soon. I swear. I know I've been saying that for a while, but look at all these things. We're gonna close like 10, 15 issues all at once, I have a feeling, because we've already done all this shit. We should do that tomorrow, but I gotta finish this. I mean, all we've gotten so far is them to eat all their food. And we haven't dealt with the starvation if there's not enough food, and where they're gonna go through each one and they're gonna eat. And then after that, we have to have them use remnants, and I don't want the... I kind of want the remnants thing, the usage, just to be sort of random. So, like, if you have 10 people, like 10% of them, like, they don't use remnants all the time. And maybe that will give them, like, a bonus +1 if they happen to need a remnant and there's enough there for them to use it, they'll use it. If not, it just doesn't affect them. It just, like, would be like a random bonus happiness. You know, just a little bit of bonus happiness to get them through. So remnants are going to be mostly used for constructing things until you run out, and hopefully by then you'll have your economy going. If not, you're fucked and you'll have to go to war, but or explore. You know, I think I'll like this better down here. But I do want them to use some remnants, and eventually we'll put in there like checks, and we kind of vaguely talked about this before, where they're going to have houses and stuff. Not that like houses you can look at, but houses that require maintenance and shit like that. And so they're going to want things more later. But at the beginning, in this level of our economy, which is very, very simple, where it's just like they're almost hunter-gatherers at this point. Post-apocalyptic hunter-gatherers with like a authoritarian leader, sort of. They're going to just use the occasional thing that, and it'll just be random. So once we get all that done, then we'll go through this list. So maybe we won't have time this week, and it will have to be next weekend. But I'd really like to go through this list. I mean, this list is... When generating resources at the end of the day, we need to check that the county improvement to make sure it what? Each person here should research... Yeah, so like change the random happiness gain in something like a skill check for experience. I don't know. Did I do it that way? Did I do that? I don't know. It says the next activity is scavenge when it should say idle. When we need to get rid of that. Like some of these, but like it looks like a lot of these are legitimate things that are going on. Let's see, this is so small. No, this is at 30, 130. Anyways, that's it for me. Let me push this code to the place. What did we do? People are mostly eating food now. Commit. And then up it goes. And that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time, most likely tomorrow. Have a good existence.